What's the solution if rejection breeds obsession?
Well, obviously you got to understand it. So rejection breeds obsession. What does that tell me? If he's how so probably that person has been rejected and now he becomes because if a guy what happens a lot of times, especially like when breakups happen, is that if it's like a long-term relationship, women typically stick around until their feelings are gone. And then when they finally leave, they're just not that into it and they're not feeling it. And one of the things that when guys call me and they want to get their ex back and they're telling me, well, I didn't do this, they stop putting their best foot forward 6 8 months, a year before that. And that's one of the things I always point out to them is like, that's how you really feel about this girl. 6 months ago, you didn't give a damn. You had the attitude of you could take it or leave it. But when you're the one to get stumped and then you find out she started seeing a guy from work, it's like she stayed with you until her feelings were gone and then she monkey branched. And so she's out. And you go from not caring about the girl one way or another and all of a sudden, I lost the love of my life. I gotta get her back. And the reality is he wasn't that into her, but it wasn't his choice. And so often in those situations, I am able to help the dude get her back. But 3 months, 6 months later, he comes to the same place because everything that turned you off about her, she didn't become a different person. It's still there. And so once they get her back, it's typically lasts 3 to 6 months and boom, they dip again. And so the best thing to help you get over it is finding somebody new, getting out there and just interacting with other women. Go out with your buddies and have a few beers, even if you might not feel like it. Just talking to a few pretty girls will help you escape from that reality. Because if you just sit at home, like I was talking to a guy on a phone session last night, really hadn't been doing very much with the stuff he had learned from me, and then just in his work and his travels, meets this girl that really liked him. He asked her out. She had a boyfriend at the time. And then, like a few months later, he keeps seeing her occasionally as he goes by her office. They say hello, and he doesn't bring it up again because he's like, "Oh, she's got a boyfriend." Well, she like chases him out the door one time, and to ask him if he was still interested, and if so, she's like, "Hey, I'm single now. I'd really like to go out with you." And so he ends up going out with her, but because he hadn't been applying what was in the book, because he'd kind of given up on himself, he goes out on this date, and it doesn't really go that well. And so now he feels terrible about himself because it's been a long time. It's been years since he met a girl that was that into him. And so what happens is, in his case, he's got no social life going on, and he's not doing anything to help himself. And now he's feeling the pangs of rejection. And in that case, that guy needs to go out and lose himself in his hobbies and his interests and do whatever it takes to put himself in environments where the odds are stacked in his favor. Go do fun things you love and enjoy with other like-minded people. And just talking to other pretty girls and going on dates with other pretty girls or getting on the dating apps, whatever it takes. It's like if you've got other choices and other options, that's the best way to deal with that. Because if you got nothing going on, you're just sitting at home feeling sorry for yourself. It's going to take many, many, many months to get over that.
Yeah, the word obsession it's very scary. That's a scary thing because when you are obsessed over something, it's like your brain and your body have no control over how you're feeling. Mm-hmm. You've lost it already.
It's like a drug kind of thing.
Scarcity creates value.
When you're obsessed, like, you shouldn't be obsessed with someone. Like, that's not healthy. That's just, I don't know. I feel like it's scary. It's not.
It's hard to move on and get over it.
It's a psychological thing at the end of the day.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't want someone to be obsessed with me because that would scare the shit out of me because that means you have no boundaries and there's no telling what you could do.
It's just like anything in life. If there's a sale on and you're like, you get there and like, damn, that person in the checkout line just bought the last one. You're just going, oh, I'd really like to have it. Now you're like, I got to find it. Now you're calling other stores, trying, we're out of stock of it too. And that's crazy. It's just human nature. We want what we can't have.
Stop making fun of me, guys.
That's so you.
Okay.
So you. Me, I'm like,
all right.
You don't care until you can't have it.
I'm like,
the white crocodile bag is gone for good. Yeah, I will not be seeing it.
That's not me. I'm just like, I guess I'll move on to something new, something else I like. And I'm not gonna.
Like you got a girl in your peer group that you hang out with, and you ask her out and she couldn't care less, you don't move the needle at all for her, and then you start dating one of her girlfriends, and now all of a sudden she's winking at you and bumping into you and telling you she's a little jealous and hopes maybe you'll take her out on a date. I mean, it happens. It has it has an effect on everybody, men and women both. So
Yeah.
whatever you don't have, like in this case, is not a particular woman. The best thing you can do is find a woman who is interested in you. And if you're in the same social group and she finds out that now all of a sudden you're dating a real pretty girl, it's like her attitude changes.